Drugs. They hurt you. By now, we already know what it is. It's addicting, it's illegal, it's overused and abused, it leads to serious complications to your health both physically and mentally due to other factors, and plenty more. This generation knows what it does to their family members and themselves, so they're not used as much as previous generations. But despite our government's efforts to cut off the supply of drugs in our country, the number of identified drug users still increases. Now, I don't know why the numbers are increasing or what the government is doing, but that's just something to speculate on. For all we know, there could be some serious corruption going on in the background while the world slowly crumbles into dust with every waking morning, not knowing when the apocalypse will start and total anarchy becomes supreme. But I digress. I'm here to talk about substance abuse and its effects. Why? Let's start with why drugs are addictive in the first place. Most of them are addictive because they increase your dopamine levels. So if you try some of that Zaza, your pleasure levels will skyrocket, like a sense of euphoria, an escape from a harsh reality, and they would want to repeat that sensation again. Okay, maybe I can understand why drugs are being used. Listen, I'm not justifying the use of them. They are still very harmful to your life. I'm also not saying that this is the only reason as to why they're used. It could be a number of factors, and I'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, drugs excite the parts of the brain that make you feel good. But after you take it for a while, the feel-good parts of your brain get used to it. Your brain and body will soon feel like it needs that drug to feel normal. You'd feel like a piece of crap without it, and you'd no longer feel that sensation of euphoria you once had on that first use. Shown on screen now are some of the reasons why you or your friend would probably be using these. But once again, all these reasons may be due to a number of factors, like family, peer pressure, social status, feeling like the world would probably be better off without you, and plenty more that I could list off the top of my head. Not really. I touched the surface of this just a minute ago, so now we're gonna go a bit more in depth. Speaking about effects on the user, substance abuse can cause a variety, and I mean a variety, of effects. It can go all the way from a loss in appetite to organ damage. And that's not even the worst part. Mentally, you can potentially gain the inability to focus and make decisions according to the Casa Palmera website. Not being able to make decisions suck. Oh, and there's also delusions or hallucinations, paranoia, and anxiety, and depression, and anger, and mood swings, and you get the idea. You could be someone with a very promising future ahead, but then you fall into the rabbit hole of substance abuse and gambling, which leads you into a life of petty crime. This is exactly what happened with Arthur Booth in June 30 of 2015, who surprisingly reunited with his friend Mindy Glazer, presiding over his, I don't know these terms, but let's just call it legal mumbo jumbo. He was sentenced to 10 months in prison and released into a drug treatment program according to A&E. An update from one of the commenters says that he's a manager of a pharmaceutical company, which is awesome. And with that happy note, let's delve right back into the chaos.
Tylko jedno w głowie mam, koksu 5 gram, odlecieć sam w krainę zapomnienia.
If you have kids while suffering from a drug addiction, those kids will have less overall support and guidance for their future. Not only that, but there could be worse things should this path continue to be tread, such as financial difficulties and abuse. If we dig just a little bit deeper, according to this 2019 article by Casa Palmera, substance abuse costs the United States more than $740 billion per year in terms of healthcare alone. For comparison, if we convert that into our currency, the Philippine peso, that'd be enough to pay off our national debt by 3 times and leave a little bit extra. Not that that would particularly interest me, but to some people that probably will. And that's a lot of money. Probably enough to have a major impact on the decrease of global poverty rates and hunger in Africa. And it sucks, cause all that money is used on illegal substances. That money would be enough to change the economy and the way we live right about now. And maybe fund some nefarious things that our government could be plotting. All in all, it sucks. Drugs suck. Just like the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow. I'm kidding, they wouldn't let me say that if I was actually sponsored. I just needed to find a good way to transition into the next. How would you prevent the abuse of illegal substances? Exactly. Don't use them. No, really, don't use them in the first place. It may very well be tempting, but it's for your own future, man. Otherwise, if you've already fallen into the substance abuse hole, seek professional help. Find a way to turn your life around and be drug-free and restart. This is not exactly guaranteed, but it's your best shot. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this awareness video. Until the situation gets better, I'll probably just be here making rants about stuff. Thanks for spending some of your time watching this. I really appreciate it.